Alright, well, what's going on, guys? So I just want to make a quick video on how to winterize your IO boat. So what we have here is we have this contraption that allows us to just run this boat on water until it gets up to operating temperature, and then we will switch it over and run it on this coolant to run all the water that's in there out, and then so that we can winterize properly. We don't have to worry about it freezing the block or anything. We have our bunny ears at the bottom, the earmuffs, so all we need to do is just turn on the water with these valves. We can start the boat up, and then we can let it run for a little bit, kind of just you know, get it nice and warm, so that way the thermostat's opening up and we'll get all the water out of all the little passageways. The thing to note is that I did add some seafoam to the gas tank, or not some seafoam, to some stable to the gas tank. So that's just another step. We want to make sure that there is prevent the separation of the gas. Just make sure there is an additive in there. So let's get started. Okay, so once I shut the boat off, but now that it is warm enough where the thermostat should be open, so we're gonna shut our water feed off and then turn our coolant on to the boat, so that way you know, it's feeding it coolant into the intake and it winterizes everything. So all right, I'm gonna get this thing running, and then I'll flip it to the coolant. Fogging oil in the motor when it starts to get really low. Okay, so earlier when I was talking about while I was sucking the coolant down, it might have been too loud. While I was almost finishing, what I did was I was spraying some fogging oil into the carburetor, so just kind of just beating it all. It's not a big deal. This is where, like, you almost want to just choke it out with fogging oil, just to kind of make sure that all the insides you just have a nice coat of oil, so that way they don't rust up. So that's about all we do for that. But next we need to, I just like to drain the petcocks and everything, just so, I mean, we ran coolant through there, but it would just be better if there is any expansion or freezing. It does have some room, so we'll do that. I'm gonna do that next. I'll show you where all three of them are on this. Okay, so right now we are on the right hand side, the driver's side of the boat. Here's the first petcock valve that is actually on the exhaust manifold. So we're just gonna crack that open, just let it drain. I mean, there's not much in it, you know, the more out the better. The second petcock valve's on the other side, so same thing. It's just not much in it. And then you can see a little bit below, there's one on the side of the block. And then down there, I'm not sure if you can make it out on camera, but there is another one on the side of the block. This is on the driver's side again, the right hand side. So just want to pull that one out. Okay, so what I ended up doing was there must have just been a bunch of crud up in there or something, because when I initially pulled these plugs out, nothing really came out. So I blew some compressed up, backfed it up through all the plugs, and they all just started really coming out. So in addition to that, I did take some of these hoses off, and I blew some air in there, so you know, just anything, get all as much water as you can out. So everything looks like it should be all drained. I mean, there's still some of them draining a little bit. Whatever, I'm just gonna leave them out and just keep draining and draining. So there should be all the spots. I'm gonna check it over, just give it a quick once over, just make sure that I didn't miss any of the plugs, and I think that should be it. So as long as you have the stable in there, motor's fogged, you know, you ran some coolant through there and then also just drained it, I think you should be all ready to go for the winter. So, and have a good boating season next year. All right, well, I guess that's it for today. So hopefully this helped. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.